Right in here. There we go.
For the scholarships that you're going to hear about this evening. I think that's something to clap about. And I think I noticed the broadest smiles up in the audience are the parents of those students who've gotten the largest awards. Before we go any further, it's my pleasure to invite some very special guests that wanted to join us this evening to recognize your sons and daughters. First, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the President of our Board of Education, Mrs. Martha Strange. Martha? Second, a member of our board for many, many years. He's especially interested in the class of 1992 because his grandson will be graduating tomorrow evening. Please welcome Mr. Charles Ledbetter. Charlie? And finally, last but not least, of course, is our wonderful superintendent, Mr. Bob Lee. Bob? I would be remiss not introducing one other person. There are many people who will be introduced. There are many people who will be giving awards this evening. But the one young lady who put tonight's program together, please give a large and very loud hand to Mrs. Cindy Bogan. Cindy? I'd also like to thank a very dedicated staff of 165 adults on this campus that have been there for you students for the last 4 years. This has not been an easy year. As most of you are aware, we worked very hard in receiving a 6-year accreditation through the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. Under the leadership of Mr. Chuck Hagan, we were given a planning grant for what's called SB 1274, and we will find out within the month, we hope, that we may be one of those winners of around $2.2 million that will assist us in running this school over the next 4 years. And many of the students in front of me were very much involved in that program. Our first awards this evening are to recognize the senior advisors for the class of 1992. But before I do that, I'm going to be introducing to you, in my way of thinking, we have two campus couples here, and I think the students will agree with me. There's Jackie and Travis. We all know Jackie and Travis. But there's also Tom and Albert. Anyway, if Jackie and Travis could please come on up, we want to recognize two very, very special people for the class of 1992.
Okay, I don't know if any of you guys saw the dedication and the back of the program, but if you can turn there now, just kind of sums up our feelings for our two class advisors, Mrs. Tagg and Mr. Ware. And I'll read it for you.
We didn't get one of those programs.
No.
I can no other answer give but thanks, and ever thanks. The senior class of 1992 would like to extend grateful acknowledgement to our senior class advisors, Dorothy Taglieri and Mike Ware. Not only have these two people been our advisors, but they have been our heart and soul. The inspiration that has given our class the strength to be successful. We'll miss you, Mr. Tagg and Mr. Ware. Your spirit and love will remain with us always. We have two plaques here from Mr. Ware and Mrs. Tagg. We'd like them to come up. The plaques should say, words cannot express the gratitude, admiration, and love that you have inspired within us. You have given us the wisdom to believe in ourselves and the strength to achieve our goals. We love you and will miss you, the senior class 1992.
And now to introduce the counselors, Mr. Mike May.
It's taken a great deal of teamwork to get these kids where they are tonight at this time of year. You know, parents working so hard with teachers and administrators and counselors and classified people, board members. But there are a few people that I want to introduce here who worked very, very hard to get these kids here. They know them. They know these kids intimately. They worked with them for 4 years, and because of their efforts, these kids have made it. I'd like to introduce, first of all, our co-chairs of our counselors, guidance department, Bill Christ and Sharon Walsh. I'd also like to introduce Mr. Boone, Mr. Mason, and of course, Cindy Bogan. There have been 3 other people who worked very, very hard to help these kids get here. My co-assistant principal, Mr. Willie Williams. And 2 people who worked so hard to keep these kids coming to school every day and keeping them on the straight and narrow path. Our deans, Mr. Mike Cummins and Mrs. Robin Everhart. And now Mrs. Brown.
Aerospace presenter will be Lieutenant Colonel Gary Aston, chairperson. Winners are Happy Aston, Felix Guzman, and Eric Bebop.
Yeah.
The Associated Student Body presenting will be Mr. Mike Pattison, ASB advisor. Winners are Mark Bryant, Stacy Edgecombe, and Gina Lantizer.
I don't recognize
Presenting for the business department will be Mrs. Jeannie Holmes, instructor. Winners are Marvin Hernandez and Mia Chang. Presenting for the English department, Mrs. Dorothy Werner is being replaced by Mrs. Joyce Brown, chairperson. Winners are Alex Aiken, Heather Parrish, Crystal Godfrey, and Cynthia Quinn. For English as a second language, we'll be presenting Mrs. Nancy Gomez, coordinator. Winners are June and Julie Chung, who are now in Korea, couldn't be here, and Ernesto Guzman. Presenting for the Fine Art Department, Mrs. Becky Raleigh, chairperson. Winners are Jenny Dean, Corey Homa, and Mia Chang. be Mrs. Judy Tetley and Mrs. Becky Rodocker, chairpersons. Maybe just Judy Tetley. Winners are, for French, Talisha Antoine. And for Spanish, Happy Aston and Judith Caston.
That's me. Tuition Stevens had the 9 on one side and the 2 on the other side.
Presenting for Home Economics, Mrs. Jerry Lane, chairperson. Winners are Talisha Antoine, Erica Brown, Heather Hanson, and Nicole Roberts. Presenting for the Industrial Arts Department tonight, Mr. Ray Rohde, chairperson. Winners are, for drafting, Greg Maxwell. For woodworking, Alex Pettis. And for photography, Candida Silva. Presenting the Journalism Awards tonight will be Mr. Brett Barrett, advisor. Winners are Lisa Berman, Jim Hudson, and Andy Hunt. Presenting for the Mathematics Department will be Mrs. Lucy Dudley, instructor. Winners are Denise Sanders and Curtis Varner. Presenting for Performing Arts will be Mr. Kurt Green, chairperson. In drama, winner is Troy Heyman. For choir, Mr. Brady Kerr. For band, Nick Krylesnik. And for musical theater, Erica Stewart-Givon. Presenting the Physical Education Department Awards tonight will be Mr. Jack Fogarty, chairperson. Winners are Wendell Fields and Gina Lawton.
Good job, Gina!
Presenting for the Regional Occupational Program tonight will be Mrs. Patricia Bartle, ROP coordinator. Winner in word processing is Marvin Hernandez. For computers, Monica Lake. And for banking, Rodrigo Washington. Ventura Building chairperson. Winners are Dinah Lai, Jackie Latham, Curtis Barner. The Social Studies Awards will be presented tonight by Mr. Mike Ware, chairperson. Winners are Talisha Ann Klein, Happy Aston, and Jennifer Trost. The Work Experience Awards will be presented by Mr. Tom Chalbana, coordinator. Winners are Billie Jean Vigando, Janice Craven, and Jessica Gray.
Oh, okay.
First one and the last one. And Natalie.
And presenting the Yearbook Award tonight will be Mr. Brett Barrett, advisor. Winners are Dean Cantrell and Kathy McAfee. That ends the departmental awards for this section, but seriously, I really did want to just mention a few words here about the class of 1992. Academic Recognitions Awards will be presented by Mr. Bill Christ.
Lisa Berman. Peter Grimm.
Oozing.
Laura Brooks.
My head is oozing.
Is it?
Tom Camp. Judith Chasm. Elizabeth D'Ambrosio.
He didn't get his white thing.
Matthew Egley. Heather Farish. Danielle Fick. Rami Fada. Audra Gibson. Tracy Hutchison. Mia Jang.
Look at Peter Laura.
Celine Coe. Sandra Quack. Diana Lai. Jackie Latham. Catherine McAfee. Ardeep Randhawa. Andrew Sawadasabi. Takesha Valentine. Curtis Varner. Let's have a big round of applause. Woodside. Let's have a fine round of applause. Thank you. Now, to present the Community Service Scholarship and Leadership Awards, Mrs. Sharon Walsh.
Sanders. Our next award winners come from March Air Force Base NCO Wives Club, and our presenter is Ms. Audrey Brown. We have two winners of this award. The young ladies who won have demonstrated high standards of morality, integrity, strength of character, as well as participation in school and community. And the $1,000 winners to each one are Talisha Antwine and Glennis Green. Our next winners come from Miriam and Company Performing Arts, presenter Ms. Danielle Johnson. The winner of this award is a highly creative and talented young lady in the Performing Arts Department, and her name is Erica Stewart Gavon. Says $250-$300. Let's hope it's the higher amount. The next awards come from Moreno Valley Educators Association. Presenter is Mr. Don Miller. Our two award winners have earned recognition in academics and involvement in education. They each will win $250, and those young ladies are Heather Farish and Jamie Heron. Our next scholarship is the Moreno Valley District Management Team Scholarship, presented by Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Robert Lee. Two students have won $1,000 each. They are recognized for a commitment to enter the field of education and high scholastic achievement. The winners are Carol Tapia and Jennifer Trost. The next scholarship comes from the Noon Rotary Club of Moreno Valley. Presenter, Mr. Harold Truboy. Given for the first time at the high school level, students are recognized for outstanding citizenship, service to school, and community. A perpetual plaque will remain at Canyon Springs with the recipients named. And those winners are Tamiko Fletcher Chisholm and Travis Patterson. The next award comes from Northwest College, presented by Dr. David Baker. Presenting this award in the absence of Dr. David Baker is Mr. Bill Crisp. And the amount is $20,000, and I hope you have a name. Danielle Fick. I should have practiced this one. Renaissance-Ware Polytechnic Institute medalist, presented by Mrs. Cindy Bogan.
Rick's the leader.
This is given to the most outstanding student in mathematics and science during their junior year. The winner is Curtis Varner. And the amount is $20,000. The next scholars to be awarded come from the Robert C. Byrd Honors Scholar Program, presented by Mrs. Joyce Brown.
This is the scholarship to handle
These students are recognized by the California Student Aid Commission. They're selected by congressional districts in which they live. 2 students are nominated by Canyon Springs High School by having the highest grade point average, and they must compete with students across the state in order to be selected as finalists. Each one has won $1,500, and our winners are Diana Lai and Curtis Varner. The next one comes from Rotary Club of Moreno Valley. Presenter, Mr. Harold Treboy. Recognized for scholastic achievement, school and community service, Albert Avila, $1,000. The next one was left off the big program. It is the Rose Holman Institute of Technology Recognition Award, and the presenter is Ms. Cindy Bogan, and the winner is Curtis Varner.
Must be a very bright young man.
Our next scholarship is the Soft Cell Scholarship, presented by Mrs. Heidi Matarino. This is given to substituting for Mrs. Matarino is Miss Lynn Kohler. Given to an outstanding senior for academic promise in the medical field, our winner is Takesha Valentine, $100. Our next scholarship comes from Seroptimus International of Moreno Valley. The presenter is Mrs. Dana Lent. The student who won this award was credited with it in honor of outstanding contributions by young people to school, community, and country. The amount is $500, and the winner is Jacqueline Latham. Our next recognition comes from the Volunteer Center of Riverside. Presenter, Mr. Jerry Cornelison. The winner of this award demonstrated the true spirit of volunteerism and commitment through many and varied activities. Now, who could this possibly be? Albert Avila, of course. Our next award comes from West Point Military Academy, Captain Ron Delaby. The estimated value of this 4-year appointment plus additional years of service
is $240,000. And our winner of our first West Point scholarship is Zachary Freeman. Mr. Dan Boone will now continue with high school scholarships and awards.
Given to an outstanding artist by the Guild, $100 to Lena Johnson. Canyon Springs High School Aquatic Award, presented by Mrs. Peggy Evans. This award is a Booster Club Book Scholarship, $200 each, to Laura Hall and Jennifer Trost. Canyon Springs High School Staff Recognition, presented by, I hope, Mrs. Kohler. Recognized for their involvement with Canyon Springs High School, $100 each, Alex Aiken. Susan Escavilla. Justin Woodside. Canyon Springs Cougar Track Club Scholarship, presented by Mr. Jeff Swigert. Recognition for outstanding athletic achievement, Keon Jack, $75. Gary Aston Leadership and Citizenship Award, presented by none other than Lieutenant Colonel Gary Aston and Mr. Mark Greenwood. This special award is based on citizenship, leadership in school and community, and involvement in student activities. The award was created by the Associated Student Body to recognize the numerous contributions of Lieutenant Colonel Gary Aston to Canyon Springs High School. A perpetual plaque will hang in the front office. Medallions are presented to Happy Aston and Travis Patterson. The Peer Helping Outstanding Achievement Award, presented by Mr. Glenn Dean and Mrs. Rhonda Smith. For outstanding contributions to the students at Canyon Springs High School through peer leadership, Celine Cole. Present the next scholarship award, Mrs. Richard Grosso.
My husband and I are truly honored to be a part of the selection committee for this scholarship. The 4 students that applied were extremely well qualified, which made our job extremely difficult. But we've come up with a recipient.
Ron Grafstrom Memorial Scholarship will be presented by Mrs. Linda Grafstrom.
They didn't tell me I had to say anything tonight, so I'm not really prepared. I do want to say that the student who is receiving the scholarship tonight represents everything that my husband really was all about. This person is not necessarily the person who received the most glory in ASB. This person did, however, spend 4 years working for ASB, coordinating homecoming each of those years, and became known as the ASB carpenter for her help in building the shelves in the back room, for those of you who remember that. It's Gina Lantheiser.
Now we'll turn the program back to Mr. Don Hayden.
Thank you. Linda, good to see you. It's great you're here. It's my pleasure to announce once again to the fourth graduating class of Canyon Springs High School the recipients of what is called the Principal's Award. The Principal's Award does not necessarily go to the person who has had the most exposure as far as leadership, but in this case, I'm thinking of 3 people who worked so hard behind the scenes. There are people who received many awards this evening already because of their academic ability, but also because of the amount of hours that they donated to this school and to this community. I affectionately call these 2 young men a couple, but they are so much fun. They work so hard, and I know you all in the class of '92 appreciate how much they do. Mr. Albert Avila and Thomas Camp. I'm not done. We've never given more than 2 awards. It's normally a young man and a young woman. I couldn't make a decision between these 2. But this young lady has given so much leadership to your class. We started meeting last year because she was so anxious to make sure that your class was the best, is the best, and would have the best. And to Jackie, good job. And we're going to show it all tomorrow night. Jackie Latham, class president. Mr. Mason came to me exactly last September and said, we have a young man who's banging on my door. Currently, he is not being allowed to attend another high school in the district. He had 120 credits, and he said, doggone it, I want to graduate. Will you give me a chance? He was 19 years of age. It would have been very easy just to say, go to adult school, go to RCC, go someplace else. We don't think you can make it. And it was our collective decision that let's give it a try. What do we have to lose? At the end of the quarter, he was on his way. At the end of the 3 quarters, Mr. Mason came to me and said, I don't believe it. 2 weeks ago, this young man came to me and said, Mr. Hagan, I made it. I am so proud that I'm going to be a graduate of Canyon Springs High School and a member of the class of '92, Kareem Brown. That is my greatest pleasure in this job. Now it's my pleasure, it's not on your, I don't believe it's on your program, but to introduce 2 people to you that really need no introduction. When this school began 6 years ago, we wanted to start a strong booster club. And under the leadership of Mr. Joe Skelton, we did just that. And along with our very fine department chair in physical education and award-winning head football coach, Mr. Jack Fogarty, they wish to give an award known as the Joe Skelton Booster of the Year Award.
We got started a few years ago. Mr. Hagan started this award. He thought it was important because parents, I know it sounds crazy, maybe we still have some left here. We can use all the help we can get around here. It makes the schools go better. These ones here, they probably didn't know what was going to happen to them. Their son was in 7th grade and got them at the Lake Club and said, we're going to put you involved, work here. They've been here ever since. It's Bill and Kathy DeVoris. They did a great job. We're still here today cooking hamburgers and hot dogs. They've done a lot of that over the years.
And for our last awards this evening, and especially deserved awards, once more our Superintendent of Schools, Robert Lee, presenting our valedictorians and our salutatorian.
Salutatorian is Judith Kaysen. This year there's 3 valedictorians: Curtis Varner, Diana Lyle, and Sandra Clark.
For our closing remarks, I'd like to introduce Ms. Nisha Limford, next year's senior class president.
Good afternoon, class of 1992. Let's try it again. Good afternoon, class of 1992. I'm Nisha Limbrick, Senior President of Class of 1993. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations. It's taken you 4 years to get here. There's been some smiles and some frowns. There's been some darkness and some light. But through all of your experience, you've gained great knowledge. You've learned some English and you learned some math. You've learned some history and some foreign languages. And all of these courses have opened the doors to jobs, the military, colleges and universities, and what they have in store for you. You've made it. You've overcome many odds. We are happy that we are the class behind you. You have left behind strength, courage, and knowledge. We are going to use that strength to strive to be the best and keep our eyes on the prize and forget about all the rest. We are going to use that courage to always have faith in what we believe, because at the end, the best is all that we will receive. We are going to use that knowledge to do that all we can do. And we want you to take a little to use just for you. Because we want you to go on and fulfill all of your dreams. Because life is much harder than what it may seem. We know you can do it because you've shown us that you can. And we are grateful for the strength, courage, and knowledge. It is a helping hand. We say thanks to the class of 1992. We're going to miss you, and we have faith in you. Congratulations from the new senior class of 1993. Yeah! And let your motto be, do everything to the best of your ability. Thank you.
closing remarks, Ms. Dorothy Taglieri.
This has been a wonderful evening. Congratulations to all of you. Around this time of year, there are award ceremonies being held in high schools all over America. They are paying tribute to the best, the brightest, and the most deserving young people that our public schools have the privilege of serving. We have just paid such a tribute to those of you at Canyon Springs High School who are part of this wonderful assemblage. The gifts, the plaques, and homilies we have bestowed upon you are the material rewards from a grateful community. You take with you these tributes to the next level of public service and responsibility. Because you have been bestowed with talents that make you unique among us, individuals, corporations, and the general public will demand more of you because of your talents. I want you to be aware that you are also taking with you other gifts, the gifts that are within you, that your parents and friends, and this great faculty, and especially you have nurtured these past 17 to 18 years. I believe that your purpose in life is to use these gifts, these rich talents, in the service of your fellow man. I believe it is your responsibility to use them to the fullest, to become the best you can possibly be in this service to mankind, to make our world a better place for all. Have courage. Never, I repeat, never hide your light under a basket. Let it shine for all the world to see. Remember this. To serve your nation is the most noble of human acts. To serve those around you for the good of all humankind will convey upon you the greatest gift this world can bestow upon anyone, to be called a great humanitarian. This is your inheritance. It will bond you to future generations, this legacy of traveling along the road that binds the mind and the spirit. Graduates, from my heart, I commend you for all your high school accomplishments, and I wish you much success, many blessings, and much love in the future. Thank you. Alexis.
I am going to miss especially because one has helped me since his 9th grade year and played at all 4 awards assemblies. And at this time, I'd like Brady Kerr to stand, please, and be recognized. Also, I've had someone edit and type for me for the last 3 years. I don't know what I'm going to do without him. I hope he comes back to help me. Curtis Farner, would you stand, please? Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to invite all of you to attend our reception in the back of the gym outside. Thank you. Thank you.